Hello from the Crystal Coast. This is Pastor Kevin, encouraging you to run with endurance the race that God has set before you. It's Thursday, June the 13th. I mentioned on Tuesday that Southern Baptists from all over the United States would be gathered in Indianapolis for our annual meeting, and we actually had a couple of members from our church family who attended the meeting. I also said that we'd probably make the news, and we did. In fact, you may have seen headlines about Southern Baptists on the verge of voting out churches who have female pastors. So I thought I'd take the opportunity today to share a few thoughts about that particular issue. And I realize this may not be at the top of your list of things that you're interested in, especially as you seek to grow in your faith. But just hang on for a bit, and I think I'll be able to share some things with you towards the end of this vlog that'll be helpful in the development of your faith. First, I want you to know that this particular issue about female pastors is actually, it comes from our understanding of Scripture. 1 Timothy chapter 3. Paul is writing to Timothy, and he says to him, an overseer must be, and so then he's going to give some qualifications: above reproach, the husband of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach. And so the phrase that's really key, at least for this discussion, is that phrase, the husband of one wife. Literally, Paul writes, a man of one woman, or a one woman man. So we take that particular qualification, and here's how we apply it in really the local church setting. It's in the Baptist Faith and Message, which is our statement of faith for our church family. Here's what it says: each congregation operates under the lordship of Christ through democratic processes. In such a congregation, each member is responsible and accountable to Christ as Lord. Its scriptural officers are pastors and deacons. While both men and women are gifted for service in the church, the office of pastor is limited to men as qualified in Scripture. So when Paul is talking about overseers in 1 Timothy 3, you can actually read the word or the term elder or pastor. Same thing. We actually have in our church we have paid elders on staff. We typically refer to them as pastors, but we also have unpaid elders who are part of our elder team to provide leadership and oversight for our church. All of these individuals, whether they're paid or unpaid, all of them are men, because our understanding is they're the only ones who can actually meet the scriptural qualifications of the husband of one wife. And the reason really this is so important for us, is because it's our desire. We really want to order our church family, our church, according to the order that God has established for the church in His Word. So that's how we come down on that particular issue. Now, when it comes to issues like these, or any other issues that you encounter where there is a difference of opinion or positions, you have to really decide, like, what kind of issue is that going to be for you, because it makes a difference. For instance, for me, I kind of look at issues in one of four categories, or one of four buckets. There are issues that I would die over. There are issues that I wouldn't die over, but I may be compelled to divide over. And then there are issues that don't raise to the level of either dying over them or dividing over them. They're issues that I might debate about or there are a lot of issues that I would be glad to discuss. For instance, the issue of salvation by grace alone, through faith alone, for the glory of God alone. That is an issue that I would die for. That's not one I'm going to be discussing or debating as if I might be open to change my mind about that. No, that's a die for issue. On the other hand, the issue, for instance, regarding the spiritual gifts of tongues and the interpretation of tongues, well, that's not an issue that I'm gonna die over. That's open for debate or discussion. When it comes to women, though, serving as in the office of pastor in the church, I'm not going to die over that one, but I may actually feel compelled to divide. That'd be a divide over issue, at least for me. So I don't know, that I hope that's an approach you'll take, and I believe it's one you can apply to all kinds of issues that you're faced with in your relationships with other people. Not every issue is going to be a mountain on which you're going to die. Simple as that. Some issues you may going to divide over them, and while you're thinking through which bucket you're going to put what issues in, let me just encourage you today. Stay faithful to Jesus regardless of what's going on and what issues you're facing in your life.